Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, this is Hopeful Chewbacca back at the Church of Chewbacca, and today's the day the second inning program comes out. They gave us 3 second inning program heroes to add them to our squad. You need to get 300 program stars to get them. They're Joe Carter, Bob Feller, and Hanley Ramirez. They're going to be in a choice pack. You only get to pick one of the 3 when you get the 300 program stars. And let's do a quick review of how I think these players are going to play and which ones I think is going to be the best one to choose when the time comes for you. We're going to start off with the Toronto Blue Jays right fielder, the Joe Carter prime card, 93 overall diamond with diamond hitting and silver defense. Bats right-handed, throws right-handed, has his secondary positions of first base, left field, and center field. We'll look at his attributes real quick. 74 contact versus righty, 105 contact versus lefty, 89 power versus righty, 96 power versus lefty. Just from looking at these hitting attributes right here, it looks like he's going to have tremendous power at the plate. He's going to hit the ball hard. He's obviously going to hit left-handed pitching a little bit better than right-handed pitching. As you can see, he has very good contact versus lefty and above average contact versus righties. With that 89 vision, I don't think his PCI is going to be too small, even at the higher difficulties. He has a good clutch rating, a 101. The 63 disciplines, I think, a little bit low for me personally. It probably means he's not going to be very good at check swinging. We'll look at his fielding real quick. 72 fielding, 73 arm strength, 74 arm accuracy, 70 reaction, 70 speed, and 51 stealing. He also has 46 base running aggressiveness. He's not blazing fast. He's just going to be about an average outfielder for you. I think he'll be fine in the corners. Once again, without the tremendous arm strength, he might be better suited in left field rather than right field if you're going to play him in the outfield. This card can also play first base. From just looking at the attributes, I think this card will be a very good power hitting card for the current state of the game. I don't know if Joe Carter will be a super long-term answer for anybody, just being that there are so many outfielders in the game already, and there's always good outfielders coming out. In the history of baseball, when it comes to legends, I think that outfield and first base are probably the most populated positions for legends and guys that just absolutely crush the ball. With that being said, though, I do think this Joe Carter card is going to be good. Look at his quirks real quick. Bomber, 20/20 vision, pressure cooker, unbreakable. The Bomber quirk's going to allow you to hit more home runs, which will be important for this card. The 20/20 vision means you'll be able to foul off some pitches. Pressure cooker is going to perform a little better with runners on base. The unbreakable, I don't really think it matters for Diamond Dynasty. It might matter more in your custom leagues where guys can actually get hurt. Overall, just looking at this card, like I said, I think it'll be a pretty decent card for what it is. Let's go and review the next 2 cards. The next card that you could possibly take in the second inning program is going to be the 1946 All-Star, 93 overall Bob Feller of the Cleveland Indians. He's a right-handed pitcher and bats right-handed as well. He has a 4-pitch repertoire with a 4-seam fastball, a 12-6 curve, a slider, and a changeup. With the 98-mile-per-hour 4-seam fastball, he's definitely going to hit 100 miles an hour, maybe 101. Every year this card comes out, he's one of the hardest-throwing pitchers and always has a pretty nasty curveball, slider, and changeup to go with that fastball. One of the knocks of most of his cards is that he doesn't have great control and he'll walk a lot of batters. And as you can see, he has a 48 base on balls per 9 and a 77 control, which is just not great attributes for controlling your pitches and hitting your spots. However, let's look at the rest of his attributes. He's 118 stamina, so he's going to go deep into games. He's going to give you 100-plus pitches on the mound when he starts, which is great, especially with having to think about stamina a lot this year when it comes to your pitchers and possibly working starters in from your bullpen. Adding on to the stamina, he has a good hits per 9 at 90, a good K per 9 at 108, and a good home runs per 9 at 88. He also has a pitcher's clutch of 113, velocity and break 95 plus. These attributes for a pitcher right now, where the game is at, are wonderful if you can control his pitches. My fear about this card will just be whether or not people hang their pitches, and when you do hang a pitch, if people can capitalize on it. He's going to have blazing stuff. He's going to have a nasty 12-6, a nasty slider, and his changeup's going to throw off hitters. with the change of speed from 100 miles an hour to about 80 miles an hour. However, you just have to remember to be patient, and he's not always going to control the ball. So focus on hitting your spots. Maybe throw some more pitches out of the zone some and hope they come back into the zone, or they just go way further out in the zone. I just don't think this is going to be a guy that's going to hit those corners every time you need him to. But I think he's going to have overwhelming stuff, and he'll be a great pitcher for anybody that chooses this card. Definitely a guy that should be in your rotation for the next month plus of the video game. Let's look at his quirks real quick. His quirks are cannon, pressure cooker, unbreakable, workhorse, stingy, untouchable, grounded, cheesy, knee buckler. Whew. My man got a lot of quirks. I'm out of breath from reading all of those. Yikes. Just look at these. These are ridiculous. Cannon's more for fielding. However, it makes sense he's a pitcher. The unbreakable should help for those league games where your pitcher can, or I guess in Diamond Dynasty now, if your pitcher gets hit, he has a better ability to avoid injuries, which can be pretty big to have that unbreakable for a pitcher. Workhorse means he's going to go deep into games and lose energy at a low rate deeper into games. The stingy, grounded, cheesy, knee buckler are all going to help with keeping the ball in the yard, not allowing hits, and making it hard for hitters to make solid contact. When this guy pitches, I'm assuming your opponent's going to get a lot of those good OKs that frustrates everybody and everyone thinks the game's broken because of it. That's not the case. A lot of that stuff happens because of the pitcher's attributes and their quirks. I really think that this card could be a starting pitcher in your lineup for, like I said, a month plus. And I've always enjoyed pitching with Bob Feller. I never really had too many control issues with him. I just know that some people have complained about his control issues in the past, and I would assume this card's going to be no different from that. However, I just think that his stuff's so nasty that he could be worth the pickup. Last but not least in this second inning program is Hanley Ramirez from whenever he was with the Los Angeles Dodgers, his veteran card from 2013, shortstop card, 92 overall, right-handed bat, right-handed throwing with a secondary position of third base. He has diamond hitting and bronze defense. Now, we can look at his attributes real quick here. He has 106 contact versus righty, 108 contact versus lefty, 79 power versus righty, 100 power versus lefty with 79 vision, 63 discipline, 98 clutch. I think with his high contact numbers and his vision at 79, that he'll have a pretty decent sized PCI at all levels of the game, so I don't think that'll be a big issue. He's going to have more power against lefties and against righties. However, I do think this card is going to rake. Most Hanley Ramirez cards seem to hit above what their attributes are, and I would hope that this card's the same. From previous games, I've really liked his swing. I haven't used a Hanley Ramirez card in this game. I think this is actually the first card from Hanley Ramirez in the game this year. And I just really like the way his swing was in the previous game, so I would assume his swing's also pretty glitchy and good in this game as well. Although his hitting attributes are wonderful, his fielding attributes, especially at shortstop, are kind of horrendous, if I'm being honest. I mean, it's bronze defense, as you can see, but 66 fielding, 76 arm strength, 67 accuracy, 67 reaction, 64 speed. I just don't know how many balls he's going to get to all over the field in shortstop. Maybe the card plays above its attributes once it's being used. However, this might be a card that could be suited better at third base than at shortstop just because of the limited range he's going to have with his lower reaction time and lower speed. However, even at third base, he might not have the best reaction time. That just makes me kind of leery of this card defensively. However, his offense is going to make up for that possible lack on defense, but I would probably try him at third base before I play him at shortstop, just because I think in the game right now there's better options at shortstop, such as the face of the franchise, Fernando Tatis Jr., or the Alberto Mondesi Player of the Month card that you can get in the XP rewards. So I just think this Hanley Ramirez is going to be an absolute masher and could be really worth picking up, but I would play him at third base if you had the option, you have a spot in third base. Let's look at his quirks real quick. His quirks are hitting machine, bomber, pressure cooker, which means he's going to get you a lot of base hits. He's going to hit you a lot of bombs when he's hitting the ball. That's great. He's going to hit the ball hard. He's going to hit it into gaps, hopefully hit it down the lines. That's what you want to see in a guy that has power like this Hanley Ramirez card. Since now we've done the review on the 3 cards, and I've kind of given you a glimpse of what I think of each of them, I would say that if I had to rate these cards 1 through 3, Bob Feller being at number 1 for his ridiculous stuff, his good per 9s, I feel like the control can be managed because that's a user input type of thing. After that, I think that the Hanley Ramirez card is number 2 if you play him at third base and you have room in your infield to play him at third base. I think that this card will absolutely crush the ball for you. He has a glitchier swing. And at number 3, I have Joe Carter. I just feel like there's a lot more outfield options. Although his hitting is very good and his fielding is kind of average, I just think you can get better options in the game right now in the outfield. I would honestly, out of the 3 of these, 100% Feller. That's probably who I'm going to go with first. And with all of the things that I talked about, I think you guys will probably agree that Bob Feller is the best card out of this bunch. However, you need an outfielder, you need a guy at third base, shortstop. It never hurts to give Joe Carter or Hanley Ramirez a try. I think they're both going to be good cards that you'll get some play out of. And especially if you're like a Hanley Ramirez fan or Joe Carter fan, don't be afraid to grab them. You can always get Bob Feller in the auction house. I just think Bob Feller out of this choice pack is the best option. Anyways, guys, I appreciate you watching all of the YouTube content I'm producing. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit the subscribe button. Give this video a thumbs up so I know that I'm doing a good job. Leave some comments down below maybe your thoughts about the second inning program bosses. Maybe you like them. Maybe you don't like them. Maybe you thought they could have did a better job about what bosses they gave you. Maybe you think that the Hanley Ramirez card or Joe Carter card is better than the Bob Feller card. We can have a discussion about it. I'd love to talk to you about the cards. That's part of the reason why I'm doing it, is to have great discussions with my viewers. If you have been enjoying the content and want to watch me live, you can watch me on twitch.tv/HopefulChewbacca. I stream Monday through Thursday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I also stream Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. However, I don't have a set schedule due to family, extracurricular activities, anything going on in my life. However, if you want to know when I'm going live on those days, since it's not a set schedule, you can follow me on Twitter at Hopeful1137. Also, if you want to add me on PSN, my PlayStation Network user ID is Hopeful1137. With that being said, guys, I really appreciate everyone watching my videos, and I hope you're enjoying the content. You guys have a great day and be safe.